Hello everyone, welcome to this video. This is Deepak Bari and today we will learn about the Inter VLAN routing using the Cisco Packet Tracer software. So let's get started. Open the Cisco Packet Tracer software and we will take some devices like routers, switches and PCs. So first of all, I'd like to say about the Inter VLAN routing. It is a concept, or generally you can say this is a router on a stick, but it's not limited to by using only with the router. So InterVLAN routing is also done by using the layer 3 switches. So we will do it later. So for now we will do by using a router. So let's get started. And this is the icon of the router, and take any one of the series of the router. I am taking the 2911 series router and take a switch, suppose the 2960, and take some PCs. In my case I am just taking 3 PCs. So basically we know about the router and switch in our networking. A router can break the broadcast domain, and in other hand the switch can break the collision domain. But in the previous video we have done the VLAN, so that means the network is divided into the some group of the logical networks. So it has on network. So if you don't know about the VLAN, so you can go through my previous video. So it's already given to the link. As we already know, within the VLAN, same VLAN can ping to each other, but the different VLAN cannot ping to each other. But suppose if the VLAN 10 or VLAN 20 would like to ping to each other, so this is the way for making a connection or stabilizing the network connectivity between the two PCs so they can ping to each other. So let's get started with the cabling first. So this is the icon of cable, and we will use the copper straight through. So in the router case I am just selecting the gigabit Ethernet 0/0, and in the switch also gigabit Ethernet 0/1. And if you are using the 2950 series switches, so you can select the fast Ethernet also, so there is no any kind of changes here. Now select the fast Ethernet 0/1, and in this case fast Ethernet 0/2, and this would be the 0/3. Okay, let me clear this scenario before we go ahead. So I'm just using the nodes. It's a good idea to use the nodes while doing the networking in Cisco Packet Tracer software or the GNS3 World or even G, etc. You can use anywhere else. It's a good idea to use the node. So suppose this node will be the VLAN 10, and the following IP address would be, suppose the network is the 10 network and the IP address would be 10.2, and the default gateway that would be 10.1 for this PC, and just drag drop here. Okay, so just coming to the next point of this PC. So this would be the VLAN, this would be the suppose the VLAN 20, and this would be the 20 network and the 2 IP address, and the default gateway would be 20.1. Okay, let's copy this contents with here and just paste here. This also would be the VLAN 10, but the network we will change by 30, and the default gateway we will change also. So for this scenario, each PC will ping to each other, so that means not only the VLAN 10 will ping to the VLAN 10 only. So this PC also and this PC also will ping to each other. So this is only the router on a stick, or the Inter VLAN routing. So first task is for the assigning all the IP addresses to these end devices, that is the PCs. So let's make a note for getting the task. The first task is for assigning the IP addresses. Okay, assigning IP addresses to the PC. This is the first task, so let's do it. So just open the computer or the end devices, the PC, and give the following IP addresses. In this case, the 10.2 and the default subnet mask of class C IP address, as you already know about that. And the default gateway would be 10.1. And coming to the next PC, go to the desktop, IP configuration, and configure the IP address here. And in this time, the 20.2 and the default gateway, that would be the 20.1. And coming to the next PC, that would be the 30.2 along with the default gateway 30.1. Okay, now close this window. And now the next step, that should be the configure within this switch. So the following configuration, that would be, suppose first we will create the VLAN, and second assign the specified interfaces to the specific VLANs. And the third one, we will define the access ports and trunk ports. So this is the second task which we need to do within the switch. Let's do it. So just open this switch and go to the CLI tab of the switch and go to the privilege exec mode and go to the global configuration mode from here and type the VLAN. What are the VLAN which we need to create? Suppose the VLAN 10, VLAN 20, and here the VLAN 10 also. Okay, so that means we are just going to creating the two VLANs, that is the VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. Let's do it. First VLAN 10, then exit from here, then VLAN 20, exit from here also, and exit from here also. And let's verify whether we have successfully created our VLAN or not. So just give this command, show VLAN brief. So briefly we will look at our VLAN which is created right now. So we have created the two VLANs, but we did not assign any kind of ports in our VLAN. So this would be our task, and this is the third task our. Okay, so this is the second task within the task number B, assign the specific interfaces in the specific VLANs. So let's do it. So simply just go to the global configuration mode and select the appropriate interfaces. In that case, we will use this fast Ethernet 0/1, 0/2 and 0/3. And suppose if you can't see the label of the interfaces, so you can enable from the Cisco Packet Tracer preferences. Just hit down the shortcut key, the Ctrl+R, and make sure you have checked this checkbox, the always support labels in logical workspaces. If I uncheck this, so you can see the effect. Okay, so make sure you have checked. Now let's open it again, and now we need to assign the access ports and the trunk ports and the appropriate interfaces. So first of all, we need to select the interface. So in my case, I am selecting the first Ethernet 0/1. You might have the different interface, that's not the issue. So let's move ahead. Switchboard access VLAN and the fast Ethernet 0/1, as you can see, it belongs within the VLAN 10. So we will give this command switchboard access VLAN 10. Okay, that there's the typo. That's it. Switchboard access VLAN 10, and the next line that would be switchboard mode access. So this would be the access mode. And now exit from here and select the another interface, that is the fast Ethernet 0/2, and here we will assign the VLAN 20 in this interface. So give this command switchboard access VLAN 20, and then this would also be the mode access. Then exit from here, and the same on the other interface, that is the fast Ethernet 0/3. So select the interface fast Ethernet, that is the 0/3, and give the switchboard access VLAN 10. Again the typo, excuse me, and again switchboard mode access. Now give this command end, and let's verify our VLAN configuration by using this command show VLAN brief. So this is our the VLAN 10, and this is our the VLAN name, which we did not assign. And within the VLAN 10, the two ports are assigned, and VLAN 20, which is dedicated to the first Ethernet 0/2, that is the middle portion, this one. Okay, now we need to configure the gigabit Ethernet 0/1. So just go to the configure terminal again, that is the global configuration mode, and select the interface gigabit Ethernet, interface gigabit Ethernet 0/1, and give this no shutdown, and give this command switchboard mode trunk. And this does not belongs to any kind of VLAN, so it's just a trunking port. So it will allows us for the InterVLAN operations by using this router. So because of the switch can break the collision domain, and for forwarding the data packets within the network or along the network, we need to use the layer 3 devices. That may be the router, or it might be this generic layer 3 switches. So it depends what we are just using. So just give this command and exit from here, and you can just verify your running configuration file before writing it. So this is the fast Ethernet 0/1, which has the VLAN 10, and fast Ethernet 0/2, which is assigned with the 20 VLAN, and press the space bar. And this is the gigabit Ethernet, which has the trunk mode. Okay, now save the running configuration file to your startup configuration file. Now we will begin the third point of our assignment. So the third point, that would be the configure router with .1q encapsulation. By making each of sub interfaces. Okay, so for this task, let's make a note again here. Suppose we have the gigabit Ethernet, and we are making the encapsulation within our sub interfaces. Suppose the sub interface is 10, and that would be the and it assigned for the VLAN 10. Suppose this for the VLAN 10, and we will assign an IP address. For VLAN 10 we will assign the IP address is 10.1, and this would be the 20.1. Now let's do it. Open the router and go to the CLI tab. Just enter the no and give this command enable configure terminal, and we need to (0/0) and give this command no shutdown. Now exit from here and assign the sub interfaces IP addresses. Suppose the interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0. Keep remember, we are not assigning within this interface, but we are just assigning within the sub interface of this interface. So by giving this dot symbol, that means you are using the sub interface of this interface. Now assign the IP address 192.168.10.1 with this subnet mask. Okay, so we need to enable the encapsulation first before assigning any kind of IP address within this router. So we will use the encapsulation .1q. and after that we need to give the VLAN ID, and then let's move ahead and we need to give the IP address here 10.1, excuse me, with the separate mask, and just exit from here, and we need to repeat this process again for the gigabit ethernet 0.20 for the VLAN 20. So give the interface gigabit ethernet 0/0.20, and first of all give the encapsulation, because the server interfaces requires the encapsulation before it assigns any kind of IP address within there. So the encapsulation, so what are the encapsulation available? So just give the encapsulation command along with the question mark. So these are the encapsulation available, so you can assign. So we are using the .1q encapsulation, and for this we will use the 20, and the IP address, that will be the 20.1, and just exit from here. And one thing, for the 30 network we need to assign the another encapsulation. Let's do it. Interface gigabit ethernet 0/0.30. Okay, so we need to give the encapsulation here, encapsulation .1q, and after that we need to assign the VLAN ID. Suppose we are using the VLAN 10 here. So it already said to me that the interface with the same VID is not permitted because it's already configured within the gigabit ethernet pin. So we don't need this interface at all. So just give this shutdown. And exit from here, and for removing this interface we can give the command no interface gigabit ethernet, or whatever we have just, suppose this was, and simply give the end key here, and check the running configuration file first. So this is our the sub interfaces, that is the 0.10 and 0.20. So 0.10 is assigned with the .1q10 for the VLAN 10, and 20 is for the VLAN 20. And we have successfully removed our the .30 field, and we have successfully removed the .30 sub interface from the command. Now let's check the IP route. So in my IP route you can see this is the directly connected. Now let's make a ping test. Okay, just expand this. First packet is failed because the ARP, and the second one, as you can see, the successful message. But in this time you cannot ping with this PC to this PC because it does not rotate there, just like that. Okay, one more thing which we don't need here, we need to change this VLAN with the 30 because we are using the another network, so we need to assign this network within this router also. So by doing this, just go to the IP configuration and instead of 30.1, okay, and for changing the VLAN just go to the switch and enable and keep the VLAN briefs. So we need to change this fast Ethernet 0/3 and we need to create a VLAN within our switch. So let's create it again. VLAN 30. Then exit from here. Select the interface. And this is our the interface fast Ethernet 0/3. Switch port access VLAN 30 and switch port access switch port mode access, and exit from here also, and just show the VLAN in brief. So we have three connections with the three VLANs, the VLAN 20, 10, 20 and 30. 10 is assigned to fast Ethernet 0/1, 20 is assigned to /2 and 30 is assigned to /3. And within the router we need to do some configuration. Okay, configure terminal. Then interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0.30, and this is the sub interface of my 30 network, and the encapsulation that would be the .1Q for the 30 VLAN, and we need to assign this IP address. Just give the IP address command and just exit from here also, and show the IP route. Now as you can see, the three connections are made there. Now close this window and try to ping with each other. Suppose if I would like to ping with each other, it already succeeded, but what about if I would like to ping with each other? It's also successful. Now let's ping with this PC to this. It's also getting the successful messages. So this was all about the Inter VLAN routing. So I hope guys you understood about the Inter VLAN routing and the process behind it, and what are the configuration we need to make if we would like to make some changes, and if we would like to delete some interfaces, or if we would like to change the VLAN or any kind of configuration within the router or the switches. So, and make sure after making some changes, don't forget to give this command, show the running configuration file, copy the running configuration file to the startup configuration file for saving your configuration file. It's very important, please don't forget this. And here also you can give the copy run start in short, but it's not a good habit. Just simply this give command and see these messages. Okay, it gets pinged by each other. So we have done our the scenario and we have done our the task. And if you have any kind of questions or still have any kind of doubt, so you can write down below the comment box. And if you need this file, so you can download this file from the below link. And thanks for watching this video, guys. And guys, see you on the next video.